Hello, welcome to the project management course. My name is Peter Akinola and I will be your guide through this course. In this project management course, we've been able to focus on things that you need to move you from the beginning to the end, pushing you from knowing nothing to knowing everything you need to know about starting and executing a project from beginning to end. We've been able to focus this course on things that you really need and take out or minimize on the things that are time waster. I promise you're going to have a very good time walking through this course. Thank you, and let's get into the course right away. So these are the focus of our course. We are going to start with project and project management. We're going to start discussing what is project management, type of project, and all of those things that are related to project and project management to give you a foundation to what we are going to be discussing. The next module we are going to be looking into is project classification, the types of classification and what we have under them. The next one is going to be project management practices. What are the type of practices that we have in project management? Which one do you prefer? Which one works with your industry? Which one works more with your organization? Now, the next one after that is project management processes. This is where we break down a lot of things that has to do with the actual processes of the project. Then we move to project and people. This is where we'll talk about people involvement in projects. Projects works around people, so we are going to be talking about people involvement in the project. And then the next one is essential project management risk, essential project management skills, essential project documents and meetings. So we're going to walk through all of this, and after each module you will be required to write a short test which you must pass before you move to the next one, and then you go all the way to the last, and then you write a final exam to get your certificate. Isn't that so simple? So let's get into the first topic of the day. So we are going to start with project and project management. So what is a project? To start with, so a project is a temporary effort made up of a set of related activities undertaken to achieve a unique goal or objective within specific constraint. Now, I want you to take every word in this slide and take them in one after the other. A project is a temporary effort. So we are saying that there's nothing like we are starting this project, we don't know when we are going to end it. That is not a project. A project is a temporary effort, even if we don't know the exact date. Based on the complexity or the nature of the project, we must have an idea of what is going to require in terms of schedule, meaning time, and cost. So, but what is management? A process of setting and achieving goals through planning, organizing, directing, and controlling, also utilizing human, financial, and material resources. Now, in short, project management is the act of getting things done through people. That's the shortest form of definition that you can find. Is the act of getting things done through people. I'm sure you are getting to understand and then getting to follow this interesting concept. So let's get into the characteristics of a project. The first one here is a project has a beginning and an end. Like I said, there's nothing like we are starting this project, we don't know when we are ending it. It's a no. That is not a project. The next one here is a project has a limited resources. We must have a peg on what we are supposed to use in terms of cost, in terms of human and material resources. So a project follows a planned, organized method to meet its objective with specific goals of quality and performance. We're going to be dealing with that in depth as we proceed in the course. Now, every project is unique, and that's one thing I want to dwell a little bit on. No matter how similar a project looks like the other one, we are required to take every project as a unique entity, because now the constraints and things that might come up in this project might literally be different from what you've experienced before. So it is good to keep that mindset that every project is unique, even if you've been doing this type of project for the last 10 years. So it keeps you at in a mindset that expects anything and then be able to manage everything using your experience in the past similar projects as what they have, which are just what experiences. So not to judge and then create boundaries and limitations for the current project, but to use them as an experience for better decision making for the new project. So a project must often involve changes. So that one is clear and straightforward. Now, what are the roles of the project manager when it comes to project and project management? Activity and resource planning, organizing and motivating a project team, controlling schedule, cost estimating and development of budget, ensuring customer satisfaction, analyzing and managing project risk, monitor progress, and then manage reports and necessary documentation. So even though it might not really be the one to do all of this practically, but you get to facilitate all of this because he's responsible for everything. Now let's look at the types of project managers we have depending on the different projects that might occur. So the first one is a prophet. So who is a prophet? This type of project manager focus on grand opportunity. Now these are the people that look at the big picture. So this manager relies on passionate team members that are extremely determined to comply with the vision of the project. Prophets are good for challenging and existing possible out of this strategy, seeking out new opportunities for growth that previously may have been overlooked. So it is this kind of project manager that look to create a new emerging product, a new emerging edge for the organization, even when we already know that the current modus operandi or the signature brand, signature product of the organization is getting out of this. So let me give a very good example to bring this home. A project manager, a prophet kind of project manager would be in charge of thinking and executing for a newspaper company to say that now we know that it's just a matter of time. Newspaper, the revenue from newspaper is reducing. Can we move into digital media and all of that? No, it takes a prophet that is a project manager, a prophet type of project manager to do that, because what they've been used to is the newspaper, the physical newspaper, and then for him to think and see, okay, let's see what we can do by moving what we have into the digital news media. Of course, it's already telling on their numbers that this physical newspaper is dying gradually. So let's get into I believe you understand that, right? So let's get into the second, the gambler. This type of, and don't focus more on the name, so to say, just understand who they are and the type of project they are involved in. So this type of project manager actively pursue business opportunities that exist within the existing strategic boundaries of the business, but are not being exploited to their full potential due to lack of trustworthy data. Essentially, this project manager takes bets on growth opportunities. In a certain light, these managers can seem risky as the likelihood of success cannot be predicted. However, they are necessary to project management as they pursue certain overlooked opportunities that have potential that can enhance the growth of an organization. Now, this is very simple and explanatory. The gambler is the guy that, one thing about getting into projects is we must get into projects based on need, not just by feeling. So what tells us that we need to initiate a project? It's data. So for someone to get into a project without trustworthy data is a huge gamble, because data is really what doesn't lie, is really what cannot be faulted. You can't fault data. If income is constantly reducing, there's no other way to explain it than the income is reducing when you check the data. So for we to jump into a project without trustworthy data is a huge gamble, and that's why project managers at the edge of such are called gamblers. So let's continue. The next one is expert. The expert type of project manager actively pursue business opportunity that lies outside the existing strategic boundaries, but contrary to the gambler and the prophet, opportunities for which there is trustworthy data and carves a solid case. So they love solid evidence that back up their initiative to go with certain overlooked business opportunity, business growth opportunity. This main challenge is to explain their vision and get everyone on the team on board while pursuing the goal. So this one is simple. Now they go after a project outside, strategic boundaries, but then not just anyhow, but then they go by relying on trustworthy data. So let's give a random example about this. Now, for example, if we see that constantly there's now more, okay, let's say that in Nigeria today, the major form of transportation between Lagos and Ibadan decided to grow into train, and we now have more people boarding the Monday morning train to Lagos, and then boarding the Friday evening train back to Ibadan. I mean, we have a huge spike in the number. Now that might tell us something, not necessarily telling us anything, because we need other data to justify that. Now that might tell us that, okay, maybe people now stay more in Ibadan than and then work in Lagos. And then even if our organization is not into anything that has to do with that, that might be reliable data for us to create something that Lagosians love in Ibadan. So once we have reliable data that's telling us that more people from Lagos are moving to Ibadan, moving to Ogun State, now for us to, it will not be out of place for us to think of, okay, what is it that Lagosians enjoy that makes them want to stay in Lagos that we can put in Ogun State or put in Ibadan that can help, that can bring money and also help them feel like they're in Lagos. That's how. Even if it is not within our strategic boundaries, for example, if we operate in Lagos, something that can stand as our strategic boundary could be the landmark of Lagos. Now we are stepping out of Lagos into Ogun State or Ibadan to create something, but backed by data. That's what we are talking about here. It's just a random example. Don't take that for a fact. So the fourth one here is the executor. Now, the project manager energetically pursue business opportunity that lie within the existing strategic boundary and have a great case to be pursued. The sureness and confidence of this type of project are what gain trust from the other team members and followers of the project. Quantitative evidence is key for the executor and help back up the pursuit of the opportunity. The executor lack the ability to pinpoint more obscure and maybe risky opportunity that could potentially be exploited. This type of project manager focus on what is visible and go after it. These are the most common type of project manager. If you gather 20 project managers, you probably see 15 of these before you see others, or let's say you probably see 10 of these before you see others in the rest of the 10. So let's continue. So what is project management office? Now this is a group internal or external to the organization that maintain and ensure standard for project management across the organization. They are the keepers of best practice. They are the one that provide project status and direction all in one spot. So at the end of the day, PMO are in place to help organization deliver value to stakeholders, to projects and programs. So what are the roles and responsibilities of the PMO, that is Project Management Office? So they provide tangible, repeatable, long-term benefit to the business. Now they align with corporate strategy and culture. They are agile enough to adapt as strategy shifts from one to the other. They are key enabler of high-performing organization, integrate data and information from corporate strategic projects and support the balanced scorecard. So they enable sharing of resources, methodologies, tools, and techniques, for project success across the enterprise. They identify and develop project management methodology, best practice, and standards. So they coach, they mentor, they train, and they provide oversight for project managers and their staff. So you can see it's a huge one. So let's look at the types of PMO that we have. We have the supportive PMO. Now the supportive PMO look at the three types of PMOs that we currently have as being on the table. Two are on the extremes and one is at the center. So the supportive, so the role of all the PMO, like we've read, is supportive actually. But then for the supportive PMO, they support, yes, but they don't hold on to it. They don't claim to be recognized. They don't claim any they don't ask for reference. They don't seek to be known or to be recognized for their work. So the controlling PMO seems to be at the middle. They do the job. They have some level of control, but then not so much. But the directive PMO is the one that is extremely in control of the work. So let's just read this. The directive PMO is where the PMO direct project management of the work, support and control the work, and leave no space for wiggle room about following template procedures and reporting requirements outlined by the PMO. So these are the most common, in highly regulated, high-risk environments. They are key on. You must follow these templates. You must meet these requirements and all of that. So it is very important. So what is project management system? The project management system is a set of procedure, tools, and techniques, process methodologies that an individual project manager, PMO, or company can use to manage projects. This system can be formal or informal in nature. Typically, it is supported by a project management plan as the work of the project is executed. So what are we saying? Think of this as an organization structure, culture, but then this is a little bit more peculiar to projects. So how do we do this? How do we do that? That differs in different industries, and then even with the same industry, that differs in a little bit in different organizations. The way the finance industry, banking industry go about their projects will be different from the way the oil and gas go about their projects. And then even within the same organization, the same industry, the way First Bank go about their projects will be a little bit different from the way Guaranty Trust Bank go about their projects. So these are what we're talking about. So that's why when someone moves from one organization to the other, no matter how high rank this person is, there's still few days of onboarding, learning the culture, learning what we do and what we do. Not really technically on what the job is all about, but we need to first get to orientate you, onboard you into our system so that you can know how we do our things here. So what is project management information system? The project management information system is one or more software tools used for the project information storage and distribution. Now there are many types of PMIS, and equally diverse way of applying this type of system for optimal benefit of the organization. Currently, as I speak now, we have different softwares that help get this done. So let's look at the component of a project management information system: scheduling, estimating resources, project document, data, portal and dashboard, collaborative work management tool, project control, social media kind of aspect as well, so that team members can also interact. So what is project management life cycle? Project management life cycle involve the process of managing a project. So we have the initiating, we have the planning, we have the executing, we have the monitoring and controlling, we have the closing. So those are the major 5 processes of projects. So what is a project life cycle? A project life cycle is a process of completing the work of the project. It is the work process such as the building process, the creating, and all of those things that has to do with the exact work of the project. And then it also coexists with the project management life cycle. Remember, we said the PM will kind of handle the management part of the project. So what is a product life cycle? Now, this involves the product or service from concept to divestment. So what does that mean? Now, from concept means from initiating, then to closing, then to roll out to the market, then to it is no longer fit for the market. That is closure, taken out of market, divestment. So I believe you understand that now. So the cycle can begin with a business plan, project, transition to operation, and finally to the exit or finish of the product or service. Now, going forward into this course, I will be a little bit flexible with our examples, use cases, so that we don't keep a rigid mindset as regards project, especially because this environment that we currently are in Africa, project is not so is not project management and project manager is not yet a separated industry. So we currently use and have project management as part of different other industries, different other career paths, and all of that. I must always put that in perspective, even as we discuss it as an industry or as a standalone part on its own. So let's continue. Life cycle interaction. Now, here we are looking at how the project management life cycle interact with project life cycle, and that interact with product life cycle. So if you look at it, project management life cycle and project life cycle start and end almost the same time. The only one that is above them is the product life cycle. So product life cycle is longer because we said that it starts with initiating, continues to roll out, to closing, to roll out, and then to taking out of service. And in the other hand, we have project management and we have project life cycle and project management life cycle start and end at the same time. So what are the difference between the project management life cycle and the project life cycle? One focus on the management aspect of the project, which is project management life cycle. The other focus on the work of the project, which is such as construction, building, and all of that. So I believe you understand that clearly. So you need to know the similarities between project management life cycle and project life cycle, and also the difference between the two, and also why the product life cycle is longer and stand out. That is that about the project and project management. In the next module, we'll be talking about project classification, and I'm going to take you through it one after the other. Thank you for staying to this time. Do well to check your tests and then write them. If you have any issue, you can always come back to the course, scroll through it again, check the slide, and I'm sure you will understand everything you need to understand. Thank you so much. See you in the next module.